Welcome to this week's edition of Hematology Research and Treatment Updates, covering the latest breakthroughs in blood disorders, from February 3rd to February 9th, 2025. Brought to you by LucidQuest, this series delivers insights into clinical trials, regulatory updates, and emerging therapies. Novo Nordisk's MIM8 demonstrated a significant reduction in bleeding events among children aged 1 to 11 with hemophilia A, both with and without inhibitors, in the Phase 3 Frontier 3 trial. The study met its primary endpoints, with 74.3% of children experiencing zero treated bleeds and 98% of caregivers preferring MIM8 over previous treatments. Regulatory submissions in the US and EU are expected later this year. The CAR-T therapy Breyanzi, lisocabtagene maraleucel, has been recommended by the European Medicines Agency's CHMP for patients with relapsed or refractory follicular lymphoma after 2 prior lines of therapy. Results from the Transcend-FL trial showed an overall response rate of 97.1%, with 94.2% of patients achieving a complete response. The European Commission will review this recommendation for potential approval. A new triplet regimen consisting of Acalabrutinib, Venetoclax, and Obinutuzumab has demonstrated exceptionally high response rates in both treatment-naive and relapsed/refractory mantle cell lymphoma. Complete response rates were 78% in relapsed or refractory cases, 81% in treatment-naive patients, and 75% in TP53 aberrant cases. The regimen was well tolerated, with neutropenia occurring in 31% of patients and thrombocytopenia in 11%. Long-term results from the Polatuzumab trial confirm that Polatuzumab-R-CHP significantly outperforms R-CHOP in diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. At 5 years, the progression-free survival rate was 64.9% for Polatuzumab-R-CHP, compared to 59.1% for R-CHOP. Overall survival rates also showed a benefit, with 82.3% of Pola-R-CHP patients alive at 5 years versus 79.5% in the R-CHOP group. The COMET-001 trial evaluating Ziftomenib, a menin inhibitor, in NPM1-mutant acute myeloid leukemia has met its primary endpoints for complete remission. The data supports an FDA submission for accelerated approval in the second quarter of 2025, with a Phase 3 trial, COMET-017, set to begin in the second half of the year. The UF-Kure19 CAR-T therapy has shown high efficacy and low toxicity in relapsed or refractory non-Hodgkin lymphoma. In a recent trial, 80% of patients achieved a complete response, while the manufacturing process was reduced to less than 1 day, greatly improving scalability. The therapy demonstrated a favorable safety profile, with cytokine release syndrome occurring in 20% of patients and neurotoxicity in 10%, both resolving within 24 hours. AJ1-11095, a first-in-class type 2 JAK2 inhibitor, is now being studied in a Phase 1 trial for myelofibrosis. Unlike type 1 inhibitors, this therapy is designed to overcome resistance mechanisms seen in current treatments. The trial will evaluate safety, spleen volume reduction, and clinical response in affected patients. Data from a new trial confirms that Avapritinib outperforms midostaurin in systemic mastocytosis. In first-line treatment, overall survival was not reached with Avapritinib, compared to 28.6 months for midostaurin. In second-line settings, survival was also superior, with Avapritinib showing an overall survival rate not reached, versus 20.3 months for best available therapy. New data reinforces the survival benefits of blinatumomab in frontline and consolidation settings. Patients who achieved minimal residual disease negativity showed particularly strong responses. Ongoing trials will continue to define the optimal treatment sequencing for maximizing patient outcomes. Emavusertib, an IRAK4 inhibitor, has demonstrated significant activity in AML and myelodysplastic syndromes. Researchers are currently evaluating its potential in combination with Venetoclax or hypomethylating agents to enhance treatment effectiveness. Updated 5-year results from the ZUMA-5 trial confirm that Axicell, a CAR-T therapy, offers durable responses in indolent non-Hodgkin lymphoma. The study showed a 90% overall response rate, a 75% complete response rate, and a 5-year overall survival rate of 83.4%. This week's developments highlight breakthroughs in hematology, CAR-T cell therapy, targeted inhibitors, and immunotherapy, bringing us closer to more effective and personalized treatments for blood disorders and hematologic malignancies. Want to stay ahead of the latest hematology research? Like, share and subscribe to our channel for weekly updates. We cover breakthroughs across multiple therapy areas, so visit www.lqventures.com and reach out to LucidQuest at info@lqventures.com for healthcare consulting services. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.